What's happening, y'all? Jay here, and there are a lot of players playing Elden Ring right now in anticipation for the DLC. So it was quite fitting for me to make a video in 2024 with the best starting guide. And in this step-by-step route, we'll be activating all the vital grace sites, start all the important NPC questlines, take shortcuts to a location where you can get tons of runes at once, and even a different farm rune location that you can keep mining, like your permanent rune generator. Find the best early game weapon, which literally took me through my first playthrough, and take you to the NPC where you can upgrade this weapon to +5. And along the way, we'll discover some vital talisman, Ash of War, Sacred Tears, Golden Seeds, and much more. All of this in the first 30 minutes of your gameplay. From here, we head on to our very first site of grace, and this grace site is quite vital as we will be coming back to kickstart the most important quest line in Elden Ring, who incidentally will also help us get the most overpowered early game weapon. It's crazy that the size of the new DLC is bigger than Limgrave. Whew. Anyways, after activating this grace site, we turn left and then it's a straight path. Get this grace site activated, talk to Melina, and that will unlock our torrent. Also, make sure you put the torrent in your quick slot, makes life much easier, especially during boss battles. I have seen a lot of players ignore this. Anyways, get the map and from here on return back to your previous site. To meet Raani, exhaust her dialogue and she'll give us our very first spirit summon.
I was instructed torrents for. 'Tis a bell for calling for summon them.
From here on, go back to the gatefront grace site, and this is where our journey begins. Our first golden seed. Turn right. First smithing stone, and from here we go and meet our first NPC and collect our second summoning spirit. Activate the grace site, and now we go here. Second NPC and some very important Ash of War. First is the no skill Ash of War. This is the Ash of War that removes skill from the shield, which basically means that you can now use your weapon skill while still holding the shield. This is by far my favorite early game Ash of War. And the second, Quick Step, which gives you faster dodge similar to Bloodborne. From here we pick up the next smithing stone and move on to our next NPC. For that we go here, it's a straight road. Okay, so to get the smithing stone stuck in this statue, we need to aggro this big ogre and wait behind this statue. He's gonna break it for us, giving us a second smithing stone. Okay, so now it's time to meet our next NPC in this location. But first, let's get a Sanctuary Stone, activate the Grey Sight and take down this pumpkin head. He's actually quite straightforward if you stay behind him.
Is there death? Act while you still can.
Next, we're gonna pick up one of my top 5 talisman of this game. So good for stamina. So, we head over to the Summon Water village and remember the Stoneward key that we acquired? We're gonna use it now. Our next stop is Church of Marika, one of the most important early game location which gives you a wondrous item. Exit the church and drop down on these spring jumps so you don't take fall damage. We gotta go there. Pick up the Flask of Wondrous Physick and don't forget to pick up the Sacred Tear. And now we're gonna get our very first shortcut done. So go behind the church, it's quite hidden away in the corner. It's here. And here we're gonna get a lot of rune. It's crazy how easy Margit the Fell Omen becomes after all these upgrades. Activate this Site of Grace and follow the route for the next Site of Grace, and on the way pick up another seed. Okay, now make sure you rest at this Site of Grace because Melina is gonna show up and take you to the Roundtable hold. And we need this to upgrade our weapon to +5 and a whole other bunch of things, so it's good to activate this Roundtable hold this early. With that out of the way, we need to take this route, which is a bit of a stretch, but it's quite easy to navigate. Do not even bother fighting with these enemies. Don't go by their size. They are small but they hit quite a punch and they even do poison damage. Cross the bridge. Okay, this is the boss we gonna cheese. Don't aggro him just yet. Let's activate this grey site nearby and then come back for him. Next up, we're gonna cheese a boss and this boss is gonna give us a bucket load of runes. Okay, to cheese this boss, we need to aggro him and get him here to the ledge, and when he's close enough, jump off it. The Knight Cavalry boss is gonna follow you to his death. But unlike him, we have the power of rebirth and we get 40,000 plus runes. Next up, we're gonna get an even bigger stash of runes. We gotta reach this location. take out this old dragon. Yeah, you feel bad doing it, but he's gonna give you 70,000 runes. And we are not done yet. There is another location. This is the same site we had unlocked earlier, and you can come here to collect as many runes as your heart desires. I mean, if you do this 4 times, you get as many runes as you get after defeating the first boss Margit. And from this same spot, you can get your first memory stone. Now that we are done with this area, we are going to head back to the Church of Roderika and follow the route to meet the next NPC. And while we are on the way, let's activate the map of Limgrave East. And then we are going to make our way to this fort, Fort Haight. Enter the fort, but before that collect the seed, and then we are going to make our way up through the fort and collect the Dectus Medallion, which you're going to need later to enter the Altar's Plateau. And while you're here, let's collect this really cool Ash of War. Next, you wanna head back to the first site of grace and talk to this NPC right here until he exhausts his dialogue, and then we go here. Here, you need to use a finger snapping emote and next, we just gotta do 2 things. 1, get the most overpowered early game weapon. 2nd, upgrade it to +5. So, for the weapon, you need to go here. But to reach this place, you'll have to take the long way through, crossing the Limgrave tunnels, the Waypoint ruins, and the Agheel Lake South to finally reach your destination. And the reason we started the Blaidd questline before coming here is because we can now summon Blaidd to help us in our battle, which makes this fight way easier. Now that we have our weapon, we need to upgrade it, which will make the fight with Margit almost unfair. So you need to head over to the Storm Hill Shack site of grace. Now from here, if you go left, you will find your first major boss, Margit. but we travel straight and reach a broken bridge. Head down the bridge and then turn slightly left in an arc, and before you reach a dead end, you will see a road that leads right. And from there, it's literally a straight path. Keep heading straight until you see a gate on the left side, which will lead us to the Stormville Castle. Collect the Shabriri grape as you need this item for the Hyetta questline, and you can find her at the lake facing cliff site of Grace. Head out and we are at the Liurnia of the lake, and after activating this site of Grace, we go to that church. Collect another sacred tear, and this dude right here, he can teach you some sorcery if that's your thing. Our next stop is the Liurnia Lakeshore, and for that we follow this road, which will directly take us there. And now you need to go straight, just for a bit, until you find the map for Liurnia East. And once we have that unlocked, we need to reach here. This blood incantation is the most powerful early game item you need for our build. It enhances your right hand weapon with fire. It also works magic with weapons that have bleed damage, as it adds bleed status effect to your weapon, such as the one that we just got. So not only does it add fire damage buff to your weapon, it adds bleed damage too, and it lasts for 60 seconds. And the FP cost, yeah, that's quite moderate too at 20. In my opinion, this is a must have, irrespective of which weapon you choose. Also, while you are here, make sure you scout the area. This area has some smithing stones too. Now, the only thing that remains is upgrading our weapon to +5. For that, we need to head back to the place from where we unlocked the map of this area, and from there, we need to reach the Purified Ruins. At this ruins, you also come across another NPC, Hyetta, and you need to give her the Shabriri grape that we collected a while back. And from the Purified Ruins, we need to take another shortcut, which will teleport us to a new area of the Liurnia of the Lakes. So activate this nearby site of Grace. And from this location, we need to head over to the broken bridge. This game has a lot of broken bridges. We are now very close to the NPC. They'll help us get the Somber stones to upgrade our weapon. And from here, jump over to the building on your left, drop down on the water, and collect another golden seed and activate the grace site nearby. And now for the final part of the journey, we need to take a teleporter which will directly take us to Liurnia West, which is right here, where we are gonna find our NPC. unlock the map, and we need to go here, which is literally a straight journey, and reach the King's Realm ruins, and we'll be looking for a false wall. And finally, here we are. Upgrade your weapon to +5, then head over to your first major boss Margit and destroy him. So that's about it. I hope this starting guide helps you, and for all things Elden Ring and Elden Ring DLC, a like and a sub would be simply lovely.